Heat Seekers, it's Steve here recording this from my own kitchen, where pretty soon I will be making myself and my family our Christmas turkey. And this is quite fitting because I'm going to start my top 5 turkey videos for the Heat Sheet Advent Calendar, and I'm going to give you my top 5 worst ever champions. Let's get straight to it. At number 5, I'm going to go with Enzo Amore winning the WWE Cruiserweight Championship from about 2017. What I hated about this was that, first of all, he took it away from Pac. Pac had a great run. I'm saying Pac, it was actually Neville at the time, but he had a great run with the belt, and the kind of cruiserweights were finally getting some limelight again within the WWE. And it was, they were getting promoted as work rate guys, which should always be the case with cruiserweights. But then they gave it to Enzo, and just all of that just got flushed away. And what's worse is he was a guy that had a really toxic reputation in the locker room at the time, and the cruiserweights never really got the attention. Again, it was such a shame. And of course, by the time COVID ran around, the cruiserweights were just pretty much phased out. And I blame that really on giving the belt to Enzo. It was just a rotten run, and it just left a sour taste in the mouth. At number 4, I'm going to go with Logan Paul winning the United States title. I know this might be a bit of a controversial one to hear, but let me just explain why. First of all, WWE, I think, gave him the title just to get more mainstream attention, but that never really happened. I never really once saw Logan Paul out and about with the belt. I don't remember him promoting WWE much at the time as well. And off the top of my head, he held it for about 6 months and he barely ever defended it. I think he only had like 2 televised defences. One of them was at WrestleMania. And the other thing is that WWE has got this really great locker room. It's one of the best locker rooms ever in its history. There's so many guys deserving of holding that title, and yet for 6 or 7 months, a YouTuber held it and he did nothing with it. It was a waste, and really, it was just, I just wish they hadn't done it. At number 3, I'm going to say Santino Marella winning the Intercontinental Championship the first time. Again, I know this is a very controversial pick, but let me just explain why. Long-term viewers will know that he was picked out as a fan from Raw. Raw was being held in Milan, Italy at the time, and they did this thing where they picked out a fan from the crowd to challenge Umaga for the Intercontinental title. You can clearly see it was a plant because, you know, it was Santino Marella. If you had some any insight, you knew he was a guy in WWE's development plan who was highly rated. So they brought him in and he beats him. He beats Umaga. I know there was interference from Lashley, and that was why Santino won it. But I hated it because instantly it killed off Umaga's momentum. Umaga had this really great run going. He was like this monster heel, and he was causing a tear. And then as soon as he lost it to Santino, he just lost all that aura, and he never gained it back, sadly. But also, it just summed up how little WWE cared for the Intercontinental title at that time. And it took years, I'm talking a good 10 plus years, for the title to get its aura and its prestige back. Thank God for Gunther and Sami Zayn, because they really helped towards that. But I just hated it, and I know it's a personal pick. I know it's not one that may be popular, but yeah, Santino winning the IC title the first time round, that's definitely a turkey pick for worst ever champion. At number 2, you were probably waiting for this one, it's Jinder Mahal winning the WWE Championship. I'll first caveat this by saying that I was actually supportive of it at the time. I thought it was a kind of fresh new direction. that WWE were taking, albeit on a guy that, let's be honest, has some weaknesses as a wrestling performer. But I like that they were kind of, you know, throwing their weight against behind someone unexpected, and also, you know, it made businesses. They were clearly capitalising on the breakthrough they made in the Indian market. The Indian market's a huge market. It's people with a country with 1 billion plus people, and I think they, at the time, off the top of my head, I remember they signed a big new media deal in that region, so it would make sense to take advantage of that. But yeah, the run was really poor. Nothing good really came out of it, and he himself never gained anything out of it long term. I mean, as soon as he lost the belt, he was pretty much kicked back into mid-card mediocrity. He never really had any good matches out of it. The one kind of memorable feud he had was with Nakamura, and that was just terrible. I remember they had that horrible racist promo that they ran where they were mocking him in a kind of Asian accent. It was just not good. Didn't really do much for Nakamura either, and yeah, it was just a bad reign, wasn't it? So Jinder Mahal being WWE champion is my number 2 turkey pick for worst champion. And last but not least, my number 1, it's got to be this: David Arquette becoming the WCW champion. What the fuck were they thinking? Just everything about it was terrible. First of all, the way he won it, right? He actually won it in a tag match. He was teaming with DDP up against, I think it was Eric Bischoff and Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett was the champion at the time. Arquette pinned Bischoff to win the match and become the champ, which instantly makes no sense. Second of all, he lost it by actually letting Jeff Jarrett win it in the three cages match, which is in itself a stupid thing. He actually betrays DDP and willingly loses the title to Jarrett, so there was that as well. But the worst thing about it all, it was just how desperate it all was. WCW decided to do it to give themselves a kind of kick up the arse with ratings. Arquette was there because he was helping promote Ready to Rumble, which of course was that terrible movie 20 plus years ago that WCW was involved in. They thought getting Arquette with the bell, put him on Jay Leno and David Letterman and all that would really boost their ratings. It didn't work. If anything, ratings went down. And it, on top of it all, it just showed you how horribly mismanaged WCW was at the time. They should have at that time been throwing a weight behind the young talent.